YouTube, long time, no weapon in sight. So, welcome back to the series. And I gotta give it to the devs. They delivered another gun that simply puts a smile on your face. This gun completely changes the way you play Witchfire. It turns our beloved game into a symbiosis of doom and painkiller. This is not for the faint of heart, this is for the demon slayers. So, today, with the second addition to the stake guns, Striga's little sibling, Martyr. Even though it's not the hardest hitting gun in the game. In fact, the damage is rather lowish, but that doesn't reduce the fun you can have with Martier. So the normal hipfire does 15 to 20 damage, depending on the enemy resistance, while the ADS shot deals double the amount. But Martyr has a very special mechanic. But before we start, I'm gonna tell you. With Martyr, this might have been the fastest and safest Realm 1 clear I've done in a very long time. Seriously, this build is about complete combat control and devastating damage. So let's check that out. Well, obviously I picked Martyr and Echo. Vulture, no melee weapon, Laziest, Cursed Bell, Dynamo Ring, Henbane and Curfane. We want to maximize our movement with this build. And when we have a look at the Mysteriums, it's gonna get clear why. So dash stamina makes sense. Then adding more damage to our elements is never wrong, so ailment power beat it is. Martyr greatly benefits from the ammo preservation beat, as almost every auto-fire weapon. And last but not least, since we don't have burning stake, we want some additional fire damage on our gear. And then we add the elemental prophecies, gunpowder, firearms, dead eyes and prophecy of spells for our prophecies. Let's come back to Martyr. Well, almost all guns are unique, aren't they? But this one is more unique than all the others. Let's have a look at the Mysteriums and what that means to us. Shots fired while aiming down sights magnetize the target. In-flight nails curve towards magnetized enemies. Magnetizing an enemy now summons all nearby nails. Nails can strike multiple targets before shattering. And last, environment can now be magnetized, pulling all nearby nails to the impact point. And the wording is a little misleading here. Nearby is very generous from the devs. It's actually infinite range. So, do with that information what you like. What does that mean gameplay wise? Well, let's talk about this one by one. First, the curve. If you magnetized an enemy, all shots fired in the general direction of the enemy will hit the magnetized enemy, or any obstacle or other enemy that might be in the flight path of the nail. Gameplay wise, this means you don't have to actually hit your target. As long as you aim towards it, the nail will bullet bend and hit the target. Secondly, all fired shots, no matter where they hit previously, will be pulled towards your new magnetized target. Again, everything on the flight path will be hit, resulting in damage or a loss of your nail. And last but not least, the environment can now be magnetized. And this will bring the true power and potential together. Even if you miss your magnetized shot, the nails will land on the new position but still be able to be magnetized into the next target. So you can just ignore all missed shots. You can then aim more precisely and enjoy the numbers again. With that in mind, I hope you can imagine the Doom-like movement potential this gun has. You will no longer be restricted to aiming, making this gun ideal for old grumpy men like me. But I have to add a few side notes. Even though it looks like it, this gun is not dealing lightning damage, nor is it affected by lightning at all. The flavor text is misleading here. So don't equip the air prophecy if you don't plan to bring any lightning item. Also, the gun has seen some balancing already, because before it got patched you were able to put up to 30 stakes into the world. A crazy amount of nails, and the damage potential was unbelievable. Unfortunately, this got reduced to 15, but it's still super fun. So 15 stakes is the maximum you can have. Since we got 16 shots in our magazine, you could imagine that you want to put 15 nails into an enemy and then magnetize the next, so it hits with the full force of all 15 nails. While this is true, the shots you fired and maybe killed enemies will drop their nails. So the uptime of 15 nails is almost always there. There's no need to really count your shots. Just go ahead, fire a few, bring the health down and magnetize. Make use of your dash stamina and dynamo ring and let the nails hit the floor. Then, while you hipfire the gun, you can actually hold down the trigger and it's fully automatic. It's a bit sluggish, but still full auto. And that is actually what the gun is all about. You want to jump, to dash, to pump out those nails into your foes, just to be followed by a magnetized shot into the next enemy that comes around the corner, striking him with all the nails that didn't break and have a clear line of sight. It's pure madness. It's rushing, dashing, firing and just enjoying your pure prayer powers. With the addition of laziest, we have a big blast of decay that works perfectly with the lightning from Curvane and has a recharge that is so fast that you'll be able to cast it over and over again. With the spread of nails from Martyr, you're almost guaranteed to hit the assist and triggering the explosion. But the best part comes with the bell. Since you don't lose a bullet from firing at it, the nail will just get stuck behind the bell. Martier is the perfect addition for it. The next magnetized shot will simply pull the nail from the bell and deal damage. No more wasted bullets on either soul sigils nor the cursed bell. I just love it. The only, and I mean only downside is the bullet bending on close targets when the bell is behind them. Since you'll need to reposition in order to hit the bell again, because otherwise the nail will just bullet bend into the magnetized enemy. But that doesn't happen too often, fortunately. I cannot stress enough how much fun this gun is. With the right arcana, you'll never have ammo problems. With the ammo preservation beat and maybe a single calamity, you'll be more than fine to clear Velmorn and Castle even with the wrong arcana. I'm gonna leave you with the rest of the run. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Weapon Insights and please do me a favor. Hit that like button below. It is more important than being subscribed. As always, have a good one.